Queen Harriet again. Well, not too long ago, just a moment ago, I did a big reveal of my book. I literally just got it from Amazon in the mail. So I just want to tell you three things that I wanted this book to achieve that you can look forward to this book achieving. So you think you want to have sex is the name of the book, and it is a conscious mind guide to help us increase sexual responsibility. That is important for our teens because black teens rank number one for sexual activity. Now, there's been some debate about that, but we can't deny the fact that the sexual activity for teens is high. And although it has decreased over the last 30 years, it's still relatively high. And so we want to talk about that because we're more likely to enter into poverty and to have what I call struggle stories. So the number one thing is to reduce the struggle stories because we're going to teach them how to be responsible when it comes to sex. And this is not about wearing condoms. This is not about birth control. This is about thinking long term and short term about your future and actually setting goals and creating expectations. So this is quite different. This is probably different than anything you've ever read because I'm speaking from the place that I come from. And where I come from a place where I was engaged in sex at an early age, and I have my reasons why, just like your team will have their reasons why. But the the main reason why is because I lack guidance. I lacked guidance. I didn't have a father in the home. My mom was struggling. And to be quite frank, there was no one in my ear to even communicate to me what I should and should not have been doing. And I mean, no one, not my family, not the community, not the church. And it's not enough to just say, he always rides his motorcycle at night. He'll ride it until 12 o'clock. I don't know why he does it. And there's, sorry about that. Well, I guess he has a friend tonight. Okay. So anyway, there's no one to explain to you why it's worth you considering not having sex and waiting to have sex. And I know we're like, oh, but everybody does it. You can't stop them kids. They're gonna do what they want to do. Not true, because over 60% of high school students are not having sexual activity. Now, they just gonna disrupt my whole life. So here's the thing: the book talks about everything because it talks about a lot of the teens who are not having sexual intercourse. However, they're doing fellatio, they're doing anal. Fellatio is oral sex. Anal is anal. They're doing all kinds of things out there, and really, I think it's because we don't know how to sit down and talk to them about these things. We don't know how to start the conversation. And even if we do start the conversation, we don't know how to guide them to help them think about what they may be considering doing. So this book is a guide. Say guide again, and one more time. Okay, it's a guide to help you have these conversations, right? So you think you want to have sex, it's to help us stop those struggle stories. That's number one. Number two, it is a guide. Okay, so we're going to walk them through and help them navigate those teenage years when they're under so much pressure. A recent study from Detroit that was released, is more than one, it talks about the pressure that our teens are under from the influence from being inundated with sex, sexual images, sexual conversations. Guys, we got people like Meg the Stallion out here. We got Nicki Minaj out here. That's okay for grown folks, but they're really influencing our teens. Rowdy Rich or Rich Rowdy, Lil Nas, all these people singing all these songs, and all these songs talk about sex and having sex with multiple partners and having all kinds of sex. Fellatio, like I said, anal, all of that. And so our children, I mean, they literally told me that they are stressed. I'm looking down at my phone because I'm on Instagram too, so let me look up here. They literally told me that they are stressed and they are sick of these heavy sex messages that are coming from movies, songs, and a lot of what they see in our home. You know, throw a little Jada and August in there. You know what I mean? Got a lot going on out here in these streets. And so, anyway, this book is to help parents, to help schools, to help organizations, to help churches. This book is to help everybody. So we got the struggle stories. We got the influence that we want to help relieve that stress and that depression. And then the third thing, this is their roadmap to success. It's going to help them develop their conscious mind and really think about all that will happen if you decide that you want to have sex. And so we're going to talk about cost, right? We're going to talk about stability, right? We're going to talk about commitment, right? We're going to talk about loyalty, right? We're going to talk about those real numbers. We're going to talk about the double standard when we had like T.I. saying, hey, look, my son can have sex, but my daughter, he wanted to keep her as what? A princess. Went to her visit, went with her to her visits at the gynecologist and was like, make sure her hymen is still intact. Meanwhile, he's passing out condoms to his 15-year-old son, saying, bang them up, son, you a man, do what you do. I write about that in the book because it's important for us to know if we're going to give our sons condoms and say, hey, son, go out there and get some. Well, at 15, 16, and 17, and 18 years old, who do you think he's going to have sex with? Grown women, which that's a whole nother story. That's like pedophilia. But he's going to try to hook up with some girl his age. And guess what? They want their daughter to be a princess, too. They want her to have her hymen intact. So if you're going to give your son a condom, you might as well put your daughter on birth control pills. So we can't have that double standard. So the book talks about that as well. It's so much in this book that you're going to be happy with. There's work in this book. Let me flip through it right quick. It's a bonding experience where you get to write your thoughts, ideas, answer questions. They're not complicated. You don't have to do any research. It's just a thinking process. I just want you to think. I want you to really get your conscious mind developed because you're going to need that. You're going to need that skill for the rest of your life, critically thinking. And so that's what this book is all about. Join me Monday on the 20th at 6 p.m. live, where we will be talking about this book a little more in detail. I introduce you to it a little bit more, go through some of the chapters, kind of give you an idea of what's in this great book. So you think you want to have sex, a guide, a conscious mind guide to increase sexual responsibility. You're going to want this in your home. If you don't have this in your home, and I say this in the book, if you don't have this in your home and the people who your kids hang around don't have this in their home, I will let them be there unsupervised. That's all I'm saying. But hey, get the book. We're going to talk about this Monday, 6 p.m. And I hope you join me. By the way, I'm Kathleen Harriet, your conscious coach. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and I also have a YouTube channel. And I'm exploring Twitch as well. But YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, follow me there. So I am Kathleen Harriet, your conscious coach. Make sure you click this video and like it. Also make a comment and share it with your friends and family. Share it with your pastor. Share it with your youth leader. Share it with your school because this is a great